This afternoon I had the privilege of seeing Maybe Happy Ending on Broadway. I expected a charming story. What I didn't expect was to leave quietly, reflecting on life itself. The musical follows two obsolete helper robots whose lives seem to be nearing their end. Yet as their story unfolds, it becomes much more than science fiction. It becomes a story about us. It asks questions that every human being eventually faces. What gives a life meaning? Is love worthwhile if we know it will end? Are memories precious because they last, or because they don't? How do we continue loving when we know loss is inevitable? As a psychiatrist, I've spent decades listening to people wrestle with these same questions. We often imagine that suffering, aging, uncertainty, and death are interruptions to life, when in many ways they are the very realities that force us to ask what truly matters. One of the themes that stayed with me was memory. We are, in many ways, creatures of memory. Our joys, our regrets, our relationships, our identities are woven together by the stories we carry. Yet memories are fragile. They fade. They become distorted. Sometimes they disappear altogether. The musical gently reminds us that perhaps memories are valuable not because they preserve everything perfectly, but because they remind us that something beautiful happened to all. Then there is love. The two characters know that their time together cannot last forever. Yet they choose connection anyway. That choice feels deeply human. None of us enters a friendship, a marriage, or a family believing we can avoid goodbye forever. We love despite impermanence, perhaps because of it. The story also quietly confronts mortality. We live in a culture that often encourages us to deny death or postpone thinking about it. But every ending casts light on what comes before it. Knowing that life is finite invites us to become more intentional about how we spend our days, whom we forgive, whom we cherish, and what kind of person we hope to become. From a Bahá'í perspective, another thought lingered with me after the curtain fell. If our identity were nothing more than memory stored in a physical brain, or in this story, data stored in a machine, then losing those memories would mean losing ourselves. But the Bahá'í writings offer a different vision. They describe the soul as something that is not confined to the body, something whose reality continues beyond physical existence. Memory and personality are precious parts of earthly life, but they are not the whole story of who we are. That perspective doesn't diminish the sadness of loss. If anything, it deepens our appreciation for every moment of love, while offering hope that our existence is larger than what can be measured, stored, or erased. Perhaps that's why Maybe Happy Ending resonated so deeply. It's not really about artificial intelligence. It's about human longing. It's about the courage to love, even when love makes us vulnerable. It's about holding on to memories while accepting that they cannot last forever. It's about facing endings without allowing them to rob the present of its beauty. And perhaps most importantly, it's about discovering that a meaningful life is not measured by how long it lasts, but by how deeply it is lived. As I walked out of the theater, I found myself grateful, not only for a beautifully written musical, but for the reminder that our days are precious precisely because they are finite. Every conversation, every act of kindness, every shared laugh, every expression of love becomes infinitely valuable because it cannot simply be repeated forever. Maybe the ending isn't the point. Maybe it's the love we choose along the way that makes the ending beautiful.